Hi, my name is Kristen Webster, and I am doing my math lesson today for my EDU5350 class at Hope University. So my math lesson is going to be a third grade level. We're going to be learning about equivalent fractions. So I have some hands-on learning experience in this lesson through some measuring cups with rice, and then we're also going to be learning how to compare fractions and seeing if they're equivalent through a number line. To start off this lesson, I wanted to do something very fun to get the students engaged. So I have a YouTube song called Equivalent Fraction Song, and that is what I would play at the beginning of this lesson. That would target my visual learners, it would target my audio learners, and just really everybody. It's a very upbeat, fun song, and hopefully it'll get students interested in what we will be learning. And then after that, we would jump right into the lesson.
If there were 4 socks to wear, then we would say there'd be 2 in each pair. And one of the 2 pairs we can declare equals 2/4 of all the socks there. Drawing 1/2 and 2/4 on a number line shows they can be described with an equal sign. An equal value is what they're worth, so we say 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4.
Equivalent fractions is the name for fractions whose values are the same.
Hi class, my name is Miss Webster. Today we're going to be learning about equivalent fractions. So before we jump into it, I want to ask you a question. So last night I was eating a chocolate bar. I ate half of my chocolate bar, and my friend Brian ate 2/4 of his chocolate bar. Did we eat the same amount of chocolate, or do you think one of us ate more than the other?
I think Brian ate more.
You think Brian ate more? Okay, well we're going to find out later. Right now we're going to learn about what an equivalent fraction is. So do you know what equivalent means?
I think it means equal.
Equal? Yeah, because equivalent kind of sounds like equal. And guess what? You're right. Equivalent actually means equal in value, amount, function, meaning, etc. So you're right, equal. Equivalent is spelled E-Q-U-I-V-A-L-E-N-T. Equivalent. So equivalent would be equal to, so if we have 1 of something, and it is equal to another 1 of something, because 1 and 1 are the same. They're equal to each other in value. Okay, so now we're going to jump into a number line and compare 1/4 and 2/8 to find out if they're equivalent, okay? So, for our number line, I'm going to use a pink marker so we can see the line. Our number line, we're going to go from 0, we're going to jump to 1/4. So that's how far 1/4 is on our number line. So now if we come down here, how much are we comparing it to? 1/4 versus?
2/8.
2/8. So here is 1/8 and here is 2/8. So according to our number line, do they go equal ways?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Let's see, according to our number line, this one goes about this far.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they go equal ways, equal distance. So that means that they are equal values. So that is one way that we can figure out if a fraction is equivalent or not, by drawing our number line and measuring it that way. Okay, so typically this part of the lesson would be partner work, but right now we only have my nephew. So I'm going to work through it with him, and we are going to compare our fractions with some measuring cups. So right here, Brayden, we have our 1/8 cup, and then we have a 1/4 cup.
Yep.
So in our number line that we did before, we compared 1/4 and 2/8, and we found that they were equivalent according to the number line. So this is another way to measure it. So I have 1/4 here, and you have 1/8. So we need to see if 2 of these, 2/8, will fit into 1/4.
Okay.
Let's try it out. Just make it, okay? Just make sure it's flat up there. So,
I think it's equal.
yeah, it looks like it's equal. So, from our number line and from our measuring cups, we can see that 1/4 and 2/8 are the same. Let's try it one more time with different size measuring cups. We have 1 cup and 1/2.
Yeah.
So are 2 halves equal to 1 whole?
I think so.
You think so? Let's try it out. Let's say you didn't know, and we're going to try to figure out if.
Okay. Well, then in that case, I have no clue.
So there's 1/2. Let's see if our 2 halves will fit. This can get messy.
Yep.
So look at that. 2 halves, so 2 over 2 would be the fraction. 2 over 2 equals 1.
1 whole.
One
cup.
whole.
Technically.
Yeah, 1 cup. Okay, so now that we've learned that we can use number lines to see if fractions are equivalent, and we've used measuring cups to see that fractions are equivalent, I'm going to pass out worksheets to the class. This is just an example worksheet. And these problems each have 2 fractions. And your job is to circle equivalent or not equivalent. You can use a number line, you can use the measuring cups. I'll leave them there if you would like to use them. Any way that you would like to use to solve this, you can go ahead and try your best. Awesome job, keep it up. Looks like you're getting this. Okay, class, if you're all done with your worksheets, you can go ahead and put them away. Before we go to recess right now, I want everybody to pull out an exit ticket from their desk. I'm going to ask a problem that you can relate to your own world, okay? So, who wants to raise their hand and tell me something that they are interested in? What is something you like to do, Braden?
Soccer. Play
Soccer. Okay, so let's think. If on Saturday you had a game and half of your team scored a goal, and then on Sunday you had another game and 2/4 of your team scored a goal, are those the same amount of goals? Go ahead and pull out your exit ticket. And you can write equivalent or not equivalent. Do you think 1/2 of your team scoring goals and 2/4 of your team scoring goals are equivalent or not equivalent? All right, so go ahead and write down 1/2 and 2/4. So on Saturday, 1/2 of your team scored a goal. On Sunday, 2/4 of your team scored a goal. So are 1/2 and 2/4 equivalent? Go ahead and write it on your exit ticket, and then you can hand it out to me when you head out for recess. Have fun at recess. So the standards that we addressed in this lesson were 3.NF.A.1, and that's understanding that a fraction 1 over b is a quantity formed by 1 part when a whole is partitioned into b equal parts, and to understand that a fraction a over b is a quantity formed by a parts of size 1 over b. So for the grade 3 expectations in this domain, they are limited to fractions with denominators 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. And then the second standard would be 3.NF.8.2, and that's to understand a fraction as a number on the number line. Represent fractions on a number line diagram. And then the third standard is 3.NF.A.3, and that is to explain the equivalence of fractions in special cases and compare fractions by reasoning about their size. So A, understand 2 fractions as equivalent or equal if they're the same size or the same point on a number line. And B, recognize and generate simple equivalent fractions. For example, 1/2 equals 2/4, 4/6 equals 2/3, and explain why those fractions are equivalent by using a visual fraction model.